Warning, what you are about to see is the funniest thing I've ever seen in Tower Defense Simulator. What? What is he doing? He looks like a kid on the monkey bars at the playground. Oh my god, is he even moving? Oh, look at the other one, it's doing it too. Wow, this is amazing. I'm so glad we tried to beat this map. This is totally worth it. Wait, let's start over. Hey, what's up, gang? Harrison here with another cat-tastic YouTube video. This video is going to be about us beating the Voidlands map on hardcore. Now, I'm going to show my entire game from start to finish, so you can see what we did to get the dub. But I do want to warn you up front, one of our players did use the accelerator. This tower is currently in the shop for 2,500 gems. The main benefit from it is that it does massive damage against the bosses, which I think was necessary on this map because of the map design. You don't have as much time to do damage to the zombies as you do on a map like Highlands. I'm actually attempting to make a series here where we beat every single hardcore map. So we've already beat Highlands. This video is about us beating Voidlands, and we got pretty close on Ancient Coliseum. And the feeling that I'm getting now is that the hardcore maps are designed so that some of them are easier to beat with the regular loadouts. But then as you progress, you need to use the accelerator and the mecha base to beat some of the harder ones. Anyways, you're gonna see how we use the accelerator to win if you watch the entire video. But first up, go ahead and smash that like button with your forehead, or else this bacon hair will be thinking about you when he drives to the bank later today. One thing I want to say before we get started, if you want to know how to beat this map, be sure to watch the video all the way through, because I'm going to speed most of it up just so the video isn't an entire hour. But I do slow it down at certain times to talk about what's happening in the game and show you things that I think are important. So if you want the full strategy, then sit back, grab a cat, and get comfy, because I will do my best to fill you in on all the moves that we used. Now, I want y'all to know the loadouts that we used to beat this, and I'm going to try to give you the general placement schedule up to around wave 25. I think if you can make it through wave 25, you're generally okay for the rest of the game. But first off, let me give a big fat shout out to my teammates in this game, Dude Emil and Chip XM. They worked so hard to understand what we needed to do to win, and it really paid off. And their reward is getting to be in their very own YouTube video. Alright, so I'm going to refer to myself as P1, Emil is going to be P2, and Chip is going to be P3. Here are the loadouts that we ran in this game. P1 used the farm, military base, DJ Outlaw, and gold minigunner. P2 used the farm, ace pilot, commander, accelerator, and outlaw. And P3 used farm, turret, John, golden minigunner, and outlaw, even though he just told me that he didn't actually use the outlaw in the game. Maybe you don't even need to use the accelerator for this strategy. You know, you can have P3 use the outlaw they have, and maybe you can throw in a golden minigunner to that accelerator slot for the OP minigunner spam. Okay, so if you go back to the beginning of this video and you watch, you're gonna see that the very first thing I do is place a farm and upgrade it to level 1. You wanna do this on all your farms as opposed to placing all of them at level 0 and then upgrading them to level 1, because the upgrade gives you the same amount of money per wave, but actually costs $200 versus $250, so you save that 50 cash in the early waves when it comes in handy, and you're really trying to micromanage the first part of the game. Also notice that P2 gets the ace pilot down right away. In my last hardcore video, I said to use a sniper. The problem there was that was basically my first hardcore game that I played, and now that I've played a whole bunch of them and lost a whole bunch of them, I can admit that I was wrong. Yeah, and I hope you recorded me saying that, because I'm never gonna admit that again. Now I'm convinced that ace pilot is the best tower to handle basically everything up to wave 12 when the balloon zombies come, and placement for the ace pilot is really important on this map, so be sure to put it right where Emil puts his. Now, since I'm the player running the military base, I like to wait and see when a zombie is going to get past the ace, and that's when I place my first military base. As far as placing the military bases, you want to do the same thing you're doing with the farms. Place one and upgrade it to level 1 right away, as opposed to placing another one. Otherwise, it seems to take forever for the Humvees to spawn. At this point, I would just go back and forth with placing and leveling farms and placing and leveling military bases until I'm max placement for both. Try to get the mill bases to level 2 around wave 9 so they can wipe out the hidden zombies easily. Now you can see at wave 11, P3 puts down their first tower, the golden minigunner. Up until this point, they've just been farming. That's good. That's what you want them to do so they can get plenty of cash. And they're going to continue to place minis, trying to get them to level 2 or 3 right after they place. And of course, to continue leveling their their farms. And P2 needs to farm and get ace to level 3. And you can see that right about this same time, P2 gets a commander down to start buffing the minigunners. What we're doing here with the minigunners and the commander is preparing for wave 25, which I'll talk about when we get there. Here on wave 18, I'm going to place the DJ, but I don't like that spot because I want it to reach further up on the map, closer to the beginning, so it can give the towers overlooking the bridge a good range buff. So I actually have P3 sell a minigunner so I can use that spot. I think this is the best spot for the DJ on the map, so be sure to put yours right where I'm putting mine. And here at wave 21, P2 gets the accelerator down. I also think this is great placement for that tower. The challenge on this map is that you have this whole open area in the middle of this loop that you can't place in. Even though I've heard that's a glitch, it is what it is, and we gotta work with what we have. That's why you need the DJ to buff the range of your towers so they can cover this entire area. One mistake I see many beginners make is bunching all their towers together. This map kind of forces you to do that, but as you fortify the area around the DJ, you really need to start and branch out so that you're dealing damage constantly to zombies across the entire map. P1 needs to continue trying to level the DJ up so that it's max level and it gives the highest range boost possible. And here we are on wave 24 and 25 fighting the 2 mega slows and the 3 shadow bosses. I have probably died more to these enemies than any other on hardcore. This is the reason you really want to have 5 or 6 minigunners with a commander triggering call to arms. There is just no other way to put out the firepower you need to take these bad boys down. You can also see that P2 puts down another accelerator to help with this hurdle. To me, this is the most difficult part of hardcore because if you haven't planned for it, you won't get past it. And so once we kill these zombies, player 1 can start working on tanks. After this, you can continue leveling the towers you've placed, get those farms leveled, and you can see that on wave 27, P2 starts placing outlaws. And as far as early game strategy, that's about it. I'm gonna pop back up at different parts of this video, so I'll see you then. Alright, be careful here on wave 32 because this made me clench my butt a little bit. Just make sure you are chaining COA and John abilities and you have as many of your military bases to tanks by this point. That'll give you the best shot at getting past this part. Just some general advice for this map. At about wave 35, try to start placing towers at the bridge so they can do damage to the zombies before they get to your main group of towers. This will pre-weaken them and make it easier for your main force to wipe them off the face of the planet. You can see here at wave 37, I start placing towers at the very beginning of the map. I even had player 2 place the commander up front to buff. Again, winning this is going to be about damage over time. So you have to start doing damage as soon as the zombies spawn, especially when you get towards the end with Fallen King and the double Void Reavers. For the Void Reavers, I'm actually going to recommend that you expect to do tower rotation. So at the end of wave 49, make sure you have some towers down at the front of the map so they can start doing damage right away. And finally, we arrive on the final wave. Wave 50. Let's go. And the freaking double void reavers. Man, look at these sexy beasts. Personally, I think this is a cooler looking map than Highlands, so I was glad we got to beat hardcore mode on it. The strat here is going to be to really keep the call to arms and John's gorilla noises going. Chain those as much as possible, and to rotate your towers from the front to the back so they can keep dealing damage. Oh my god, here it comes. I was so confused when this happened in the game. Just look how ridiculous this looks. It's so perfect. It just makes it so funny. At first, I didn't know if they were moving or not, but they are moving. And they're taking damage down there, so it's really just a visual bug. To be honest, I wish this kind of thing happened more often. It would just add some more surprises to the game. So they come out of the other side relatively intact. One of them gets stuck underground, and watch what happens here. He actually gets to half health and takes his helmet off underground. So because the front one went underground, he actually falls a little behind and ends up right on top of the other one. The problem with this is that the towers aren't focusing on the weak one to kill him. They're actually focusing on the strong one, which was a little scary considering how close they get to killing us. But because the Reaver with the lower health starts to sprint before he dies, he actually gets well ahead of the other one and starts taking most of the damage again. And then he hits the second bridge, starts to seesaw again, and I swear his head falls into the void. Now the second one starts to sprint, and he looks even funnier because now he's running under the bridge. Luckily, he just wasn't strong enough, and right when he gets to the other side, we kill him. And so that's how we beat the Voidlands map in the hardcore mode. If you have any questions about how we did this, or if you want to find people to play hardcore mode with, be sure to join my Discord at discord.gg/JustHarrisonThings. We're about to hit 3,000 members in there, so go ahead and join up. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button with your forehead, hit that subscribe button with your big toe, and turn on notifications however you can so you don't miss any of my awesome upcoming content. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Take care, be safe, and never forget what I always say. Peace.